I would like to mention that whenever you discuss about suspension and emulsion, so please refer to our earlier video on coarse dispersion, because both the suspension and emulsions are called as coarse dispersion. Okay, coarse dispersion. So we have a video in our channel. So part 1 we are uploading, part 2 we are giving to our own students who have taken the admission, and also these are the things where all the videos we are discussing in our smart class that we are providing in Google Meet. So if you want to attend a demo, you can send a WhatsApp to our number what mentioned in the YouTube link. But now thing is, since it is coarse dispersion, so one thing you remember, I have told you that all coarse dispersion have a common property known as sedimentation. Okay, when you are talking about sedimentation, you should know the important law, that is Stokes law. Okay, which actually tell us that sedimentation, the velocity, the rate of sedimentation, that is nothing but your d square. Okay, that is diameter into rho s, which is nothing but the density of internal phase of solid media, then structured vehicle, the density, and your gravitational force G upon 18 eta. Okay, so this viscosity of the external phase. So this is the normal Stokes equation that we have discussed already in coarse dispersion video. Now the very important fact of the suspension and emulsion, that is whenever the formulation concerned, the term zeta potential play very important role, because in suspension ideally the unstable suspension, or you can say non-desired suspensions, are deflocculated suspension. So because why? Because deflocculated suspension often produce hard cake, which is very difficult to redisperse, and it gives us a problem to for uniform distribution of dose. So that's why to make them flocculated suspension, one can only use of zeta potential by by decreasing the zeta potential in the suspension, so that there is a formation of floccules and the suspension become flocculated suspension, which is more desired. Okay, but in emulsion it is quite reverse. The zeta potential should be higher, because if it is lower, it can produce coalescence. Okay, coalescence leads to phase inversion, that I have told you already in the first video. So it can reduce the coalescence. So that is another fact. So that's why there are two opposite understanding of suspension and emulsion in terms of zeta potential. Now normally if zeta potential is 0 to 5 millivolt, there is a coagulation takes place. Okay, because it is reduced. If it is 10 to 30, the deflocculation takes place, and more than 60 millivolt fully deflocculated dispersions we get. Now the next understanding is, if we want to make good suspension, good emulsion, what is the major important you can say the excipients that we use? Number one over here, since we want a flocculation, of course we want a flocculating agents. The first important criteria, flocculating agent. Okay, and over here we want the miscibility should be proper with oil and water, because this can be two types. It can be water in oil emulsions, or it can be oil in water emulsion. So in that case, the very important thing is your emulsifier or emulgent or emulsifying agent. Okay, now you have flocculating agents. We can use sodium chloride, like electrolytes. Okay, like sodium chloride. Then we can use calcium salt, alum, sulfate, citrate, phosphate salt, potassium chloride. But the thing is, there is a term known as controlled flocculation. Now if it is plus, the suspension particle, they tend to repel each other by the help of electrostatic repulsion, which I have already discussed in my coarse dispersion, and as well as d'Alembert theory in solubility part 2. But when we want to promote flocculation, there should be electrolytes adsorbing on their surface. Okay, but this should be controlled, because if there is more number of minors, then again they are going to start to repel each other. Okay, so that's why if you refer to standard book, there is a graph where the zeta potential, it is reducing, and in the between there is no cake formation, means non-caking zone. But the higher the zeta potential and the lower zeta potential, in both the cases it can form cake, because in both the cases it can behave in a deflocculated suspension. So that's why there is a term control flocculation. How to measure the control flocculation? We have a formula, Fu upon F infinity. That is, F is nothing but sedimentation volume, U means flocculated suspension, and infinity is denoted as deflocculated suspension. So Fu also can be, is a V naught upon V infinity. That is your, V naught, Vu upon V naught, Vu upon V naught. This is for flocculated suspension. Vu refer to your, sedimentation volume, okay, and V naught is the initial volume. So after sediment and before sediment. So before sedimentation it is the initial volume. Now and then there is a F infinity, which is nothing but V infinity upon V naught. So again it is a sediment volume of deflocculated suspension, and the first one, and this is the initial volume of deflocculated suspension. So now after that, this particular concept is very useful for degree of flocculation. So now for the emulsifier, for selecting of proper emulsifying agent is very important for the types of emulsion. So it's follow Bancroft's rule. It's a Napier question once upon a time. Rule of Bancroft. It says that if you choose higher HLV value, it can be useful for oil in water type of emulsion. So that's why you have oil in water type of emulsion. We use normally HLV 3 to 8 like your span, okay, and normally we will be discussing surfactant, surface active agents detail in our surface tension video. So for the timing we are just describing these. And for water in oil we use 2 ins, which is HLV 8 to 10, okay. So this is the rule of Bancroft. Now apart from that, you have you use carbohydrate as a emulsifying agents like acacia, tragacan, agar. This can be used for oil in water. Once upon a time in GPAT they have asked HLV value of tragacan. So that's the thing, when we will be talking about surface tension video, that time we will be going for in detailed way. Then after that we use protein, in case gelatin, casein, again for oil in water. Then you have alcohol, cetyl and stearyl alcohol, again oil in water. Now when we work for cholesterol kind of substance, then we can go for water in oil type of emulsion. And now there is one Napier question: what is Pickering emulsion? Now Pickering emulsions are having excellent stability because we use surface emulsifier as a finely divided solids, okay. So we use finely divided solids like bentonites, then aluminum hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide to form stable oil in water emulsion, okay. So this is one of the very important questions. Now after that, as you know, the steric stabilization of emulsion can be done by the non-ionic surfactant. So whenever there is a non-ionic surfactant, there is a chance of coarse dispersion undergo Ostwald ripening. So this I have already explained in my coarse dispersion video, part 2, Ostwald ripening. So that's why it's the temperature sensitive problem. So that's why suspension often they are thermodynamically unstable but kinetically stable. Thermodynamically unstable means temperature sensitive, okay. So to reduce this Ostwald ripening process, what can be